Because we start to realize that I don't actually receive all the good things that God wants to give me because I do all the right things. I receive it because of who he is and my faith in that truth. That's why. You said, yeah, but aren't we just sinners, right? Like, don't we have to be mindful of, like, how could we ever be one with God or walk in union with him when we have a sinful nature? But look at what Paul says in verse 19. He says, but because the Messiah lives in me, I've now died to the law's dominion over me so I can live for God. My old identity has been co-crucified with Messiah and no longer lives. For the nails of the cross crucified me with him. Okay. So do you know those moments that I tell you that you go, oh, wait a minute, pat and interrupt. Like, this is not who I am. Remember how I told you that abundance is not a prosperity message, it's an identity message? And then you know how I invited you into the process, even with my little kids, whether they're my 4-year-old Zion or my 6-year-old Nixon, that when they start to behave outside of the identity that God's given them, you do a pattern interrupt. And you go, hey, that's not who you are. Hey, that's not who you are. And for some of us, again, we allow our identity to be shaped by our behavior. And that's not truth. And so what happens in these moments, what I'm suggesting, is that we do exactly what Paul says, is that the minute I actually start to walk in my sinful nature, what if we closed our eyes and we went, no, that old nature, that was crucified on the cross with Jesus. Not only did he die on the cross for my sins, he actually took my sins and bore them and that old identity. So when I said, yes, Jesus, I believe in you fully, that old identity, that sinful nature died on the cross too. So instead of downplaying the purposes and potential that I could live into, well, because that's my old sinful nature, what if I told my sinful nature, you don't actually belong here, you belong on the cross? The nails of the cross crucified me with him, and now the essence of this new life is no longer mine, for the Anointed One lives his life through me. We live in union as one. How many of us in the last day or two or 30 woke up and said, the essence of my new life is no longer mine. The Anointed One lives his life through me, and I live in union with Jesus as one.